Hello, Bigfoot enthusiasts. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mama inside the paddy wagon tonight. And thank heavens it's not so freaking hot.
It's warm.
Yet.
But it's not freaking hot.
Yeah, we turned the AC off. Let's see how long we last before you start seeing sweat pour off of me.
It's 80 in here. Not bad. So, and we're still in, I guess, Central Texas, you would call it, I guess.
We're in
Whitney, Texas.
Southwest of Dallas.
Yep.
And congratulations to Charles and Danny for, oh my gosh, Charles came in at 11:28 a.m. I don't know if he's still here or not.
Yeah.
But Danny.
That's a bit early.
Welcome.
11 a.m. Wow. Okay. Well, we got an interesting show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about stuff, the most compelling stuff.
But before that,
what?
Play the thing.
Oh, play the thing.
Yeah, I just told you to get ready to play the thing.
Well, hello.
Now we have Raptor and Doc Ock and Angel.
All right.
I don't know if Charles is actually here.
I said
hi to Danny earlier.
I know. Oh, we did. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So we are
interrupting my Harry Potter binge.
Yeah, Hannah's had a weird Harry Potter binge lately.
I don't know what that's about.
Hey, Charles is here. Yeah, he made it.
Yay! Woo!
All right, so tonight we are talking about the most compelling Bigfoot evidence yet.
Oh, that was awful. That was just terrible.
So it's one of the things we get asked a lot. So, welcome from Ontario, Canada.
Are we ever going to go to Canada?
Probably not. I don't know.
Every year I say this is the year we're going to get our passports, but to be quite frank, the events of 2020 freaked us out so badly. It's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so before we get started here, we got a lot to go through, so I'm kind of rushing Hannah a little bit. So make sure you like, subscribe, and click that.
Is there more credible evidence about Bigfoot than there is about the wizarding world?
There is.
I would be part of the wizarding world. I am such a freaking, well, I don't know. In my older age, I seem to be more Hufflepuff than Ravenclaw. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Do I strike you more as a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw?
Hufflepuff, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
All right.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Me either. So what we're doing tonight is you guys are going to participate in this.
And you're going to like it.
What we're going to do is I'm going to show you a photo and you tell me, is it real or not in the Bigfoot world? And then after we get through that little test, then we're going to go back and explain things.
By the way, how many of you took the quiz in this week's email? How many of you opened this week's email?
Okay.
How many of you actually get the email every week? Post where if you haven't signed up for our weekly email, get the thing ready. Did you put it up there? Oh, you didn't put it in there.
What? Our website? No,
the subscribe website. The subscribe link.
Oh, I don't know if I have that one. We'll put it's in the chat. It's in the description. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
okay. So. See, Charles doesn't even know about an email.
Oh.
So I do worry about it. because this is how we communicate with people. You know, we have almost 800 people on our email
Yeah, we
list,
do.
and like hardly anyone shows up on our shows, which is why I'm wondering who actually gets the emails. SquatchAmerica.com. Hold on.
So if you go to squatchamerica.com and you scroll down to the bottom, and on the bottom right hand side there'll be a subscribe button that you can sign up on the email for with.
I'm getting there. I hate our website. Literally. It's squatchamerica.com
/subscribe
_here.
here.
So type it in. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. I'll type it
Okay.
in.
All right.
Okay. Hey, no, Charles, I'm sure you're plenty smart.
Mhm.
https squatchamerica.com /subscribe here. And we have a very important reason for wanting y'all to be on our email list, because you have no idea what's coming up over the next 6 months, and you're going to love it. Why can't we post to some places?
It won't
Post to Rumble or
post to Rumble. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. For some reason, the chat thing doesn't work in Rumble.
Okay. Well, anyway, so you guys definitely want to be on the subscribe list.
Okay.
All right.
So,
and I'm curious how you managed to be on YouTube without having an email, because you got to have an email to sign up for YouTube.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Anyway,
so ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Let's get to the real show.
Let's get to the real show. Here we go. Number 1. Is this real? Dun dun dun.
She needs a really good brassiere. Actually, right there, the placement of those should say something. The placement is slightly different than it is in a human being. Did you notice that?
Okay. So Scott says, yep, real. So
no, I don't think it would be back pain central. You know why? Because they're further away from the shoulders than they are in a human being. They're actually more like mammary glands you see on,
earlier primates,
which is closer to the midsection.
So everybody says that one's real.
Okay, number 2.
Okay, number 2. Here we go.
Sorry, it's getting hot.
I know. Number 2 is. Boop.
There he goes.
There he goes. All right. Anybody familiar with this one? There's a whole video.
It was in the email quiz too, by the way.
Yeah.
Scott says real. Scott with 2 T's says real.
Yeah.
By the way, howdy to our Southern Oregon contingency.
Mm-hmm. Charles says real, likely real. Okay.
So 1 in 60.
Hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Awesome.
TWT saw 1 in 63. Here,
gathering apples. That's awesome.
That's kind of I don't want to say normal, but not uncommon.
Not uncommon. All right, so here's the next one.
This is I haven't seen this one in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know. Okay.
That kind of is a belying factor.
Oh, I need to shut off the banner thingy. Okay.
Who remembers that one? That is not. That's not Freeman, by the way.
Oh, the last one.
The last one was.
Yeah. The one that's up right now is not Freeman.
but it's far lesser known.
Yeah.
I think I've only actually I've
yeah.
seen the video footage once or twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, it is carrying a baby.
It is carrying a baby, and this one is interesting. This is one that it's called the oh
I know.
shoot, it just left my brain. The Memorial Day video, I think it's called. Yeah.
I don't know, but look at the bend of that leg. Oh, what? Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Independence Day. Thank you, Danny. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the Independence Day.
Okay,
I said Memorial Day. Memorial Day, Independence Day,
Labor Day, Veterans Day,
one
all
of those,
the days.
all one of those days.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's been seen by many people, but outside the Bigfooting community, it's not well known.
Right.
Like, I would say Patty and the Freeman film are the two most well known outside the Bigfooting community.
And not even the Freeman film that much.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So the Memorial Day footage. So Raptor says it's a girl in a costume carrying a baby.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. All right. Thank you. And it's the Memorial Day. I knew it was, I don't know. It's one of those days. Independence Day, Memorial Day. Well, there's actually two different ones. There's one that was shot in Oregon that was, they were running across the hillside. And that one was called the Memorial Day or Independence Day. I don't know. I get them confused. It's been a while. So anyway, we got one more. And this one.
The most not famous one of all.
The most not famous one of all. Hey, Charles. Live. Okay.
The realist.
The realist. That's the realist.
I actually saw one out of Australia today that was shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah, I went over to not Barb Shoot, but that one podcast we were on. I went over to her group today, and they had a picture out of Australia that just blew my socks off.
Okay.
Almost looks like a sloth.
It could be a live sloth.
I want a live sloth. Raptor, where have you been? A giant relic sloth.
Hey, there's such things, by the way.
Giant relic sloths. I just want to.
Well, there were giant sloths back in the Paleolithic area, but they went extinct here in North America, and they think they were hunted out. But there's people, I think it's in South America, that they still think they see them every once in a while, these giant sloths. So everybody,
I'd rather have a capybara than a sloth, though, but sloths are pretty dang cute.
All right, so now we're going to go back over a couple of these and
pick them apart.
I want to tell you why I think they're real or not. And
before we do that, please make sure that like and share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So
because we noticed in our video analytics, 60% of the people that watch our videos are not subscribed. So.
Yes. And I noticed something really interesting too. Like for a few days, our shorts were going like crazy, and then the last short is like,
yeah.
And okay.
Weird. All right. So thank you. Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, and welcome if it's your first time here.
Well, yes.
From Canada.
My yoga teacher's from
where do you say he was? Ontario.
That's over north of New England.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. That's where Melissa, my yoga teacher, used to live, and she moved to Victoria like 10 years ago.
Yeah. My dad's from New Brunswick, and he's one of those French-speaking weirdos. Okay. Anyway, so I've got Canadian relatives everywhere. So in the New Brunswick and Quebec area,
and of course Maine.
Yeah, in Maine. So anyway, so moving right along,
Zugadoon.
I want to point something out.
Charles, where can one see your schedule for Fallen Outdoors and sign up to be involved? We don't have a schedule yet.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, Fallen Outdoors has their website and their schedule. The trick is there's Fallen Outdoors West Coast, Central, and East, I think,
and
or
southern
and northern, and we happen to be wherever we're at. We're part of them for while we're here, and then so our schedules. So if you pick out their schedule, you rarely will find us there because we jump around.
And our outings with them are just like, okay, we're going to be here for 3 weeks. Let's see what we can put together.
Yeah, kind of deal.
So
all right, so there's that. So anyway,
we're trying to set something up, just so y'all know, for the Sam Houston National Forest here in the next couple months.
We're going to have an outing in the Sam Houston National Forest. Anyway, so we are.
Notice how he echoes everything I say.
Notice how she corrects everything I say.
Yes, that's okay. My job.
Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on the first video. I got to go back here.
Okay.
All right. So I want to talk about this one in particular. Okay. So general consensus is the Patterson-Gimlin film is the real deal. Especially with all the scientific people I know and the people who have really looked into the video. Bill Munns, Jeff Meldrum, of course, Bob Gimlin. I've talked to all these people about this. So this one here, what's really interesting is you need to pay close attention when you watch these videos. And I'm going to give you a little learning curve here. We're gonna hope to educate you some way.
You've been corrected by someone other than your wife.
It's even not a video. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Film.
So, okay, what it was recorded on is important, but what I want to point out is if you take this frame by frame, there's something people tend not to notice. And if you look where the red dot is bouncing right now, how this walks, it does not walk like a human. And the body size is different. So the arms come down to almost the knees. The torso is really long, and I have a theory about that. And so does Dr. Meldrum have a theory about the length of the body. The longer torso means more intestines. More intestines means you can eat food that humans can't and get nutrition out of it. So it stays in the digestive tract longer. So in order to get the same nutrition that a Bigfoot gets out of its diet, you would have to eat it twice, if you know what I mean. And yuck. Okay, so, but if you look right here on the leg, how many times do you see the entire bottom of a human's foot when they're walking?
I mean, we don't bend our legs at the knee at an almost 90-degree angle
every time we take a step.
Yeah. So TWT has commented how important it is that this is on film and not on video.
Well, yeah, I see that one right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a film and video guy. Talk to us about that.
Okay. One, it is impossible, well, virtually impossible, to fake video or film.
This is not CGI.
This is not CGI. This is a photograph. Every frame is a photograph. And it's not digital. So what this is you're looking at a picture of whatever the light that came through the lens and hit the film is what you're seeing.
Yes. Danny said again, look at that trailing leg.
Yeah.
That's important.
So it's important to look at how it walks. And one of the things I want to point out about this too is we have the footprints. I forgot to grab them. I have actual copies of Patty's footprint casts, and we actually have the footprints for these. So not only did we get the photograph, and we have copies of the footprint while it was making them, which is very, very interesting.
Charles asks an interesting question. Who
Okay.
owns the original film stock, Meldrum or Barrickman?
Or
either?
Neither. Roger Patterson's
family
does. I think is his wife still alive? I think she does. So that's who originally owns it. I know Bill Munns he's the one that took the original digital copies of every picture, every frame.
Yeah. And we have another question from Ock. What were they out there filming? What was their purpose of being out there? I think they were actually looking for.
What's that?
Right here. Can I ask a controversial question?
Yes.
Please, I love controversy. Let's get it going.
What was he out there filming? Do you know what he was out there filming? He was making a documentary about Bigfoot. He was hoping to capture a Bigfoot on film. That was his entire purpose of being there. And he accidentally did what he set out to do. That was the purpose of this. That's why he rented the equipment. That film camera was very expensive. He rented it, and they went out there because there was a whole bunch of footprints found in this area, and we're going to get to that in a minute too. So that's why he was here, to hopefully capture the Bigfoot that they were finding footprints. So that was that. So do I think the Patterson film is real? It is. It's probably the realest of them all. Well, I don't want to put it past this one.
What was released last week?
It might have been that one photograph, but we're going to get to that. That if you're talking about the one that the TMZ released, maybe that's the one they're talking about. So let's jump to this one, the Freeman film.
Okay, let's finish the questions.
Okay, all right. What's the question?
Okay, so they were looking for Squatch. They found it. This was not their first search. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. He'd been doing this for years. Hopefully to get a sighting.
Yeah, so TW and Doc, yeah, we always hear stuff from skeptical folk. There will always be skeptical folk.
Yep, there will be.
And there is healthy skepticism. That's great. But this one has been so torn apart and so torn apart and so torn apart, and it just, no one has been able to disprove it. So and then the logging company hired people to remove them. They were cornered.
I don't know.
So interesting. And Raptor says that Patterson got a phone call from a rancher and said that you found footprints in that area. That's why they went in that area 2 weeks later. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to jump ahead here.
All right, let's go. Let's leave Patty.
Let's leave Patty. Let's go to let's see where we're at in time.
We're at Big Jill now.
Big Jill. A lot of people don't know that she has a name. Her name is Jill. It is also a she.
That's very interesting.
One of the things that people don't know about this, oh, hi, Joe, is there's been recent discoveries on this video. This was a video. I want to make sure I'm right here.
Super 8.
It was, Super 8 video.
Yep.
On a Panasonic camera.
Which was probably expensive then, as that film camera that Patterson rented all those years ago.
Maybe not so much, but yeah. But this one here was filmed in the Pacific Northwest, 15 miles from the house I grew up in. This one's kind of near and dear to my heart. Hannah and I have been to that film site
Many
twice for sure. Yeah, we have actually went up there with a whole herd of Bigfoot experts, and we measured every rock, every tree. Um, I've stood exactly where that Bigfoot is standing, right there. If you want to go back in our videos, you can see the episode we did that where me and Robert Leiterman were standing exactly where that
Oh my
was.
gosh, you should have seen those two guys geeking out.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. And Jonathan too. Oh,
Yeah.
I was the only one that wasn't geeking out. I was having fun taking pictures of everyone.
Geeking out.
Geeking
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the interesting thing about this one is I can't show it to you because it's privately owned by Michael Freeman, Paul's son. And if you want to see the video, you got to buy his book. But
Which please do.
please do.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
And-
yes.
And if you think that the price of the hardback is a little beyond you, it is also on Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's only $9.99.
Yeah. So later on in the video, which had never been seen before, is a shot of this particular Sasquatch named Big Jill picking up a baby. And they got 4 frames of it that Paul had filmed. And he thought he had filmed a different Bigfoot because when he saw it walking away, it looked like it had a hump on its back. And he thought it was a different one than this one. But it wasn't. It was the same one. It just had picked up a baby and put it on its back.
But due to the nature and the poor resolution of a Super 8, which was like awesome stuff back in the day,
yeah,
it's just taken this long to be enhanced
enough to be able to see it. So it is absolutely fantastic. But what's very interesting.
Which one do you want?
This one.
What am I here for if not to hand you stuff?
Okay. That Bigfoot
made that print.
Made this print. This is taken from the Freeman footage, 8/20/1992 in Deduck Springs, Oregon. This is a copy of the original cast from that Bigfoot. So not only did he get a video, he also has the footprints. But here's something that nobody knows or very few people know about. This, he went back and cast this the next day. This was actually in the pond. And I've stood at that spot too, where this was cast.
And we've gotten prints from that spot.
Yeah, I have found prints in that spot.
It is still traveled.
It is still, we've found smaller prints right there in that area. So, and of course, this has got all the right morphology. You've got the mid-tarsal break. You've got the flat toe, no flexures in it. Anyway, what's really interesting about this one is a lot of people don't know is exactly 4 years later, in 1996, they found this footprint. This was in a wheat field. You can see the wheat in it. And the toes, I gotta learn how to turn this right. Anyway, this footprint is
the same.
This one. Same individual.
Different substrate.
Different substrate. 2 years later, or 4 years later, in a different, same area, just a different spot. This is the same Bigfoot.
This is there. Yeah, this one here is in a slightly marshier area.
Yeah, this was down by a pond in the mud. This was in a wheat field.
So that's why the shape looks slightly different.
But if you notice, it's got about the same shape as it's the same length, same toes, same stuff. A lot of people don't know about this one. But guess who cast this one?
Wrong. Yeah.
Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum in 1996. He even signed this one for me. But same individual as this one. Just 4 years later.
And if you don't, if that doesn't help you, shall we show them the next one.
Well, we're going to get to that.
Okay, because we've got some things in the chat that you need to
Okay,
look at.
Let's talk.
So, a lot of people are very skeptical about Freeman's stuff because it wasn't Inside Edition. It was the freaking Today Show.
It was the Today Show,
which we now boycott because.
Yeah.
Anyway. But speak to that.
I will speak to that very. Okay, so if you hadn't seen the entire footage of the interview that the Today Show did, the next day they were with him when he cast that print. By the way,
this print
when he was casting that print, the people from Today was there filming him. They asked him a question: "Have you ever faked a print?" His answer was this. And if you got to go back and you got to see the original one, it's on YouTube somewhere, and it's in Michael's book. You can actually go back and watch it. In Michael's book, it has QR codes that you can click on. You can go watch the actual videos. In the video, Paul said, "Yes, I have faked them because I make footprints in my backyard from the casts that I have to practice casting so I can get good at it." That's what he said.
And that is a sign of a scholar and a researcher.
And the Today Show said,
they said, "Do you ever fake prints?"
Yes, I have. And they cut it right there.
So don't believe everything. Don't believe anything you see on mainstream media ever. That's just a good rule of thumb.
Right. And it's very interesting that you have no idea how much time Paul spent in the woods looking for tracks. I have, I should have brought it out. I have a copy of his original Forest Service map that he marked down everything he found on that map. And I have a copy of the map. And it's amazing. And I have found footprints in the same areas myself, you know, because that's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. So.
Okay. Next one is Raptor. I'm not surprised. Doesn't agree with the baby on the back because he's never seen it. What do you have to have watched to see it?
What? The baby on the back?
Yeah.
You have to watch the enhanced video that Doug Hychek did once he what Doug Hychek was digitizing this video for the book, and they were bumping it up to 4K, and it looks way better than what that photo I showed you.
I want to affirm, Raptor, that if you are only watching the original Super 8, which has been put on YouTube 8 billion times, you will not see it. Paul did not see it.
Paul didn't see it either.
He had no idea what he was looking at.
It wasn't until...
It was about 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was about 4 years ago that Doug Hychek was enhancing this for Michael's book, and they saw those 4 frames of it bending over and picking up a baby.
And it is unmistakable.
It is unmistakable. You see the legs come up and wrap around. In fact, Doug Hychek said he watched the frames and he went, "Oh my gosh," and he'd run downstairs, pick up his little daughter to see how she would move and set her back down, and he'd go up and watch the video and run back down, pick up his daughter and set her back down. And just is like he was shocked.
Yeah, it looks like a little spider monkey grabbing onto its mama.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, every woman has the same maternal response that any mama would. I mean, you know, and a fake isn't going to elicit, just from a biological perspective, a fake will not elicit that in a woman. You've got to actually be watching a baby. So, you know, if you decide you don't want to invest in at least the Kindle edition, you're just going to have to take our word for it.
Yeah.
Because we are not allowed to show that to you.
Right. I actually literally have the whole video on my phone. Michael sent it to me right after they had got it done.
Charles, go to Amazon and look up the Freeman files and buy the Kindle. But the Kindle edition, you can watch it on your computer, or if you don't have a desktop, download the free Kindle app on your phone. That's how you can do it. It's $9.99, and it's not really.
Yeah, you can go to Amazon.
Why is it $200? It was only like $70.
The book.
The book was never $200.
No,
it was
like 70.
70, but
yeah, it's a nice book.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, we have the digital edition because We live in a camper.
Yeah.
Don't have library space.
And a lot of people don't know this. There was another investigator that actually most of Freeman's notes were
keep talking. Don't look at the chat.
Once of the Freeman's notes were all in a certain lady's handwriting. And that lady's name was Dar Addington. And a couple years ago, well, I guess it's been a year ago, 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? See if I have that on my phone.
He has all of Paul Freeman's field notes because Dar Addington gave them to us.
Give me all of Paul's notes. Oh, I don't have it on my phone. But anyway, so we Dar kind of glommed onto us about
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Wonderful gal.
Yeah, wonderful gal. Because we're from the same area, and she found us. And yeah, about a year ago, she handed me all her notes, and her health isn't so good. I mean, she's old,
80 something. Anyway, we are still here in photos, and we're 35 minutes in.
Okay.
So let's keep going. Just skip some of this stuff, and we'll keep going. So let's go to the next one.
Let's go to the next one.
The Independence Day. Or do we need a link? Yeah, play a link. I can fan myself.
Yeah.
Imagine having high-speed internet no matter where you are. With Starlink, that dream is now reality. No more buffering, lag, or limited access. Starlink connects you to ultra-fast, reliable internet anywhere on Earth. From seamless streaming to intense gaming and productivity, Starlink empowers you to do it all. And here's the best part. Sign up using our exclusive link and get your first month free. Don't miss out on the future of internet. Click the link in our description to get started today. Starlink, revolutionizing internet, one connection at a time. Join now. And we're back. So
the next one we want to talk about is
Independence Day.
This one here.
Not the Men in Black, although they might have been called for here.
So this one right here is very...
Charles, we do have Dar's OG notes.
I do. I have all of them.
Yep. Okay. So Independence Day, not the alien version. Well, let's not go there.
Though there's something interesting about this one. This one, there's a lot of things that I could say that's wrong with this. Like the baby seems really stiff when it's walking. And I didn't download the videos. Just I got a photo here because there's a particular thing. It is holding a baby. Right here, you can see the baby's head. It's got its arms around the baby. But what's really interesting about this one, also, if you believe the Patterson film,
say it, Danny. Say it.
Say it.
Look at that trailing leg.
Look at the trailing leg and this foot straight up and down.
Yeah, that's for me. That's the giveaway. And a stiff baby. Let me tell you what. If it's a newborn, she's gonna have it pretty wrapped up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be dangling all over the place.
But it does walk right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Walks like an Egyptian. Mm-hmm. No.
So, and Raptor said Doug Hychek manipulated the video. No, he didn't. He enhanced it.
Yeah.
That was all. Because you can actually see it in the original video if you look close enough.
Yeah. So,
but you got to know there's only 4 frames.
Yeah.
So you got to look close. And something I didn't talk about.
Hold on. And the thing with belief, for anyone who's listening, belief is not fact.
No.
And that's why we don't use the word believe. Because belief is just how you interpret what you're seeing. And if beliefs are not open to
Yeah,
alteration,
and Danny, I've heard that too, that somebody has a longer version that has a dog in it too. So that's kind of interesting.
I
All right. So,
Big Jill, go back to Big Jill.
we're going to go back. Big Jill. Something else that's very interesting is
Fake that, buddy.
this here was very interesting. Okay, in these footprint casts and hand casts and butt prints that we have, that's very interesting. Is being an anthropologist myself, there's little tiny things like I actually faked a footprint and tried to get it by Dr. Jeff, and it took him about a half a second to tell me it was a fake.
It took your wife about a half a second to tell you it was a fake, and I don't know jack crap
So
about
yeah, I
things.
whipped that out and handed it to and showed it to Dr. Jeff, and he goes, "It's fake," and handed it back to me. I'm like, okay, all right, you
Can't
passed.
get by anything.
Can't get by anything by you. Anyway, so, but what's really interesting about this is I wanted to show this as one of these little tiny details. Now, this is another thing from Paul Freeman. It was taken in 1994 on a place called Biscuit Ridge. I know exactly where that's at. Anyway, and this is down the edge of the pond. And the finger should be bigger, but like I said, when it was on the edge of a pond, so silt filled up the finger holes when it pulled the sand out. But if I want you to hold your hand up and look at it. Here, you hold yours up.
Wrong hand. No, right hand. There.
Beside it, not in front of it. Okay, there we go. And face the camera a little bit. There we go.
I don't bend like that.
You're straighten your thumb out a little bit. Put your hand flat. I want to show you something very interesting about a human handprint. Hold your hand there. You quit moving.
Well, it's not in front of the camera.
Okay, see this right here?
Oh, this is kind of amazing.
If you look at this, if you come across the base of the hand and then it slopes up here, this allows a human to take their thumb and touch the pinky.
That's a secret to our amazing fine motor skill dexterity right there. And it has everything to do with consciousness, in my opinion.
Okay, so if
he's
you
just poo-pooing my opinion, but whatever.
I like your opinion. Anyway,
no, you don't.
So look at this, straight across. There's no angle up to the thumb, which means this can't.
So
do this.
Let's make it simple. So humans can hold a pencil. They can hold a pencil like this. A Bigfoot would only be able to hold a pencil like that. Because we've got so much more dexterity. And we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever that. Whatever. I'm not.
She can't do that.
I can play the piano though.
Yeah.
And a little bit of guitar. All right.
So there's a whole bunch of little subtleties in these things that most people don't know about and don't recognize.
In Dr. Meldrum's book, Legend Meets Science, and I've seen this print in person too. He's got a fantastic full handprint that shows a really clear differentiation between a human print and a Bigfoot print, and you can really see the difference in how the thumb is attached to the rest of the hand. Okay.
All right. So now moving right along, you're supposed to go. This photo here.
It's true, Pyro. He says he has to try to hold his fingers in a line like that. Yes. And it's hard. It's hard. And Lee, no, a Sasquatch cannot twirl a baton. Obviously, I cannot twirl a baton either, but I went through a binge not too long ago. I watched all those baton twirling movies from the 80s.
Yeah.
I've been in this weird anyway. I can't twirl a baton either. In fact, I have quite a track record of breaking windows with the baton and giving people goose eggs as a kid.
So this photograph here, in case you don't know, is very personal to me because I took it.
And to me, because I lost a lot of sleep over it.
Yeah. This was my sighting, and I got this photograph of an adult and a juvenile looking at me through the trees.
6.5 years ago.
6.5 years ago. Yep. But something about my sighting that I can't tell you how they walked, because I just saw the faces through a little opening in the brush, and then they went away. They just kind of backed up, walked away. So I did not see them walk. I only got one photograph. I didn't get a video. I had 3 seconds. I got 3 seconds to take this photo, but I smelt them, and I can't share that with you. But
we can guarantee it was not Scott Carpenter.
It's like a photo of Scott Carpenter also. Yeah. Well, no, Scott Carpenter has photos that are similar to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she said it looked like Scott Carpenter.
Also. Yeah. But I took this photo, and I don't know why that's there. Boom. So I didn't get to see it walk like you saw Patty, but I have footprints.
Where is the baby
also
print?
I didn't bring it out.
You should bring that one out.
All right.
Next time.
But I've got 3 footprints, and if you see me in live shows, I talk about this
at length.
But if you look closely here, there's the adult footprint. It's a 16-inch footprint that goes right here,
and the one right next to it,
and the one right here,
that's the one we cast.
That's the juvenile one. I have that cast. You can see the little spread toes there.
By the way, and that you're not seeing flat ground. You are seeing
this is
almost straight up.
This is almost straight up on the side of it, like a cut bank.
Yeah. So
I have the footprints that go along with the 2 I saw. So I have the juvenile footprints and the adult footprints also.
And Danny, you're right. It was absolutely amazing that he got it. If you are interested and Scott thinks about it, we have a video called "We Saw a Bigfoot and Took a Picture," and that's where he documents the whole thing. So you can go back on our channel and find that. So
yeah, I might redrop that one Friday anyway. So
it would be a good one to redrop.
Okay.
He's been busy rebuilding the truck again.
Yeah.
Because just as soon as we get everything fixed on the truck, something else threatens to like break it in half again. So,
yeah, and
oh goodness,
and absolutely, my photographs have been compared with Scott Carpenter's also, because they're both a Bigfoot. So there's that.
God rest his soul.
So I have the footprints to go along with mine. I have the smell, which I can't share with you because there's no way to collect that. And I had a whistle, which we did not record.
And a witness that was there with him. That was not me.
I had a guy with me, and I have another eyewitness that was with me that saw it. And yeah, Brown Dwarf says, "Rest in peace, Scott Carpenter," and "Rest in peace, Scott Carpenter." Yep. So, so I have, what I'm saying is all these videos have I can't say the word, corroborating
evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, well, welcome to everyone who's just popping on. We now have 27 people.
So
drop something in the chat if you haven't
already. Look, Dawn just said it smelled funny.
Yes. Hi, Dawn. There's our witness.
There's my eyewitness right there that was with me, Dawn. He's watching on Facebook.
Yeah. So
there's that.
Scott with 2 T's in the chat was not Scott Carpenter that we're talking about.
No,
that's Scott Goebel, and he's still very much alive.
Yes, and Scott Goebel is Scott Goebel and I has had quite a few Bigfoot encounters together. Yeah.
I think they like him.
Yeah.
And I think they really like Spike.
So, yeah, and I've got to get Scott on here in the next week or two, by the way, Scott, while you're watching. As soon as I get those photos in the mail, which isn't here yet, we want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I wanted to that's not the word. I want to point something else out. A lot of people say that every Bigfoot thing in the whole world is faked. And I can't say that there is stuff that's not fake. There is fakes. There's a lot of fakes out there. But I want to point something out. There's a lot of little details that a lot of people don't know about.
Break it, why don't you?
Yeah, in these casts.
If you want to cast, just let me know.
Yeah, there's a lot of little tiny details in these that an anthropologist will notice. I've been on a million archaeological digs. I've dug up dead skeletons and did research for years. And there's a lot of little details and things that people don't know about. And so when a lot of people fake these things as a joke, they have no idea what they're looking at. And I wanted to point something out in particular that a lot of people don't realize. This particular photo right here, I want to point something out. This footprint cast from Jerry Crew, and I think that was 67. I don't know. It was 57, not 67. I think it was 57. He found this, and this is Ray Wallace, who said he faked this.
Look at his stompers.
But look at his stompers.
And look at that print.
And look at the print.
50s, honey. It's the 50s.
Yeah, it was the 50s. I think it was 57. I'm not sure. And I've actually met
Jerry's son.
I met Jerry Crew's son, and we got to sit down and talk with him for a while.
That was a fun accident.
Yeah. But anyway, there's details in this that aren't.
Well, I want to ask anyone outside of Fred Flintstone, does anyone have feet that look like that?
I don't know.
OMG. I mean, if anyone for half a minute thought that those stompers look anything like one of these, you need glasses bigger than mine, thicker than mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm freaking blind.
No,
so
okay.
What do you? Okay, you hate my face.
No.
Yeah. So
yeah. So
I don't. I mean, honestly, I think that if there is any. I don't know how anyone could even think that stompers could come close to looking like a real print. Right. I'm sorry. I just no.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
it looks like a freaking rectangle. They look like rectangles that have had toes cut out.
Yeah, they are. So anyway, so I think somebody earlier, since we're going to talk about fakes, somebody earlier was maybe talking about this is the latest video that's going, or the latest photo that's going around the world.
Oh my gosh. Are you effing kidding me?
Guess what that is? In fact, if you did any research into this right here, everybody says this is the realest thing in the whole world, and it dropped on TMZ of
all places.
But you can go back and you can watch the ad for the cannabis store that shot this Bigfoot video as a commercial for their cannabis store.
I am so highly offended. I am like crazy woke lady offended.
So one of the things I think all Bigfoot researchers should get very familiar with is all the costumes that are cheap on the market. And there's some expensive ones too. Particularly the Colorado video, the people on the train, that was an expensive costume.
But it took us about 2 seconds to say that's a costume. It took us 2 seconds. I mean, if I can look at footage and say that's a costume.
That's that costume. But
Yeah.
memorize these. In fact, one of the things we were going to do, I never got around to it, was I was going to buy all these costumes and put them on display in our booth when we go to festivals so people can say, look. So I can say, see these? If you see these Bigfoot, they're not real.
Okay. Raptor wants to know the print on the right, that one print that Jerry Crew. How do we know it wasn't a human foot blown up? Because Bigfoot prints and human footprints look completely different.
That's what we were talking about there, Raptor, is there's little subtleties in the, I can't talk tonight.
This does not look like a human foot blown up.
There's a whole different morphology to the foot. It's completely different than human feet.
Go trace your foot on the paper, on a piece of paper, and you'll see it. Bigfoot feet don't have arches in them.
Right.
And
there's little subtleties that I don't want to talk about because I don't want people to get a night to figure out what it is. But
the biggest, the easiest tell on a, even if you have a baby Bigfoot print next to a human footprint, which could be similar in size, or a juvenile footprint, is the lack of an arch in favor of a mid-tarsal break.
Yeah, even the juvenile prints are completely different than the adult prints. And Scott Goebel has found tiny prints that Dr. Jeff and I have had long talks about.
Yeah.
And they're very amazing.
Is there a reason why we left off Mr. Standing's evidence?
I just didn't get to it.
There is a lot of controversy around him, and there are people in this audience who have had very negative experiences with him. And so anyway, and so anyway, we're not going to go there.
Yeah, we're not.
Is there a Bigfoot dispensary in Willow Creek? I'm sure there is.
A Bigfoot dispensary in Willow Creek. I don't know. Probably.
And wouldn't depth?
I think this one was back east.
Yeah. Wouldn't depth matter? Absolutely. Like the prints that we cast in Cottage Grove at the London Trackway 2. There's no way that a human could have put a half-inch print in that substrate in that kind of weather.
But Cliff and I's had arguments about that. So
yeah, and
yeah.
So TWT said the one that he watched for an hour picking up apples was taller than the Farmall tractor. Can't read tonight. And must have weighed 800 pounds. No costume. We totally believe you. There's another video that we have early on our channel when we were still Blue Mountain Bigfoot Research. And it is the encounter story of a guy who watched the same thing from an apple orchard in northeastern Oregon.
Yep.
Scared the golly bejeebers right out of him.
There's the juvenile print that Scott Goebel found.
And look how deep that bad boy is.
Yeah.
Human and we've tried.
When you go to my live talk, I have a really cool thing about that.
But humans, I mean, even jumping up and down, you can very rarely get, if you're in sand, yes. But on regular ground, it's really hard for us to leave any kind of decent prints.
And I couldn't find this video on my computer to play it, but it's on my phone. Go figure. But let's see if I can hold this up and show it to you. But this is the Patty film. Stabilized.
Good luck doing that.
But I want you to watch very carefully.
It's not moving.
There it is. I drew a red line across it. If you notice something, the shoulder doesn't go up or below that line the whole time it walks across there. Let's see if it. There's a reason for that, because it doesn't walk like a human does.
Yeah.
We bounce.
You know what? We've almost done an hour and haven't moved past footprints.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
So, yeah. So here's the footprints we found in Cottage Grove.
Yeah, these are our footprints in Cottage Grove.
Yeah,
And
if you're familiar with the London Trackway that Cliff Barackman touted on finding Bigfoot, this is the same area, and these footprint tracks
do match.
his, and they are 12 years later in the same area. And
he never learns with that.
but these are 2 inches deep in a gravel road. So just something to think about.
Yeah, and to answer Charles M, weren't the London tracks proven to be hoaxes? There was no proof. There was Cliff
did a whole breakdown. He thinks he tends to believe that they were faked.
That's not proof. Just because Cliff says something doesn't mean it's proof. Just saying. Just because we say something doesn't mean it's proof.
How did I find the same Bigfoot 12 years later?
And it's the same area, but a completely different spot and completely different terrain than the original London Trackway.
And I have a cast in my closet over here that I didn't know we were going to talk about this tonight, but I have a cast in the closet over there of one that Tobe Johnson found that matches Cliff's and mine.
That is about 2 inches deeper.
Yeah, and he found it 4 days before the London Trackway happened.
Yeah, there's a lot behind that story that most people don't know. And we have another video on our channel of Cliff and Tobe going at it like two ping pong players.
Yes, it was.
We just sat back there and let them go.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really good stuff. You guys really need to check out our entire channel because after like 6-7 years of putting up videos, did you know that we've been doing these videos for that long? That's almost the better part of a decade. We should have 5 billion subscribers. So please share our channel, share this video. Anyway, but yeah, go back to the very first ones and see how far we've come.
Yeah, and we'll be in Wisconsin
in May.
If you want to come see us live, there's a Bigfoot festival put on
May 3rd, you said?
May 3rd, I believe it is.
Sponsored by Barnaby Jones.
Barnaby Jones and
the Caps people.
Yep. And so we're going to be there, and we'll have all this stuff for your perusal.
Yes.
And I'll be speaking, and I go into a lot of really neat sciencey stuff in my live shows that I don't do here.
So tonight we've gone through segment 1 and segment 2 of ChatGPT's video YouTube show outline. How about we do the next 2 segments next week?
She says
we could have a series.
5/9.
Oh, 5/9.
Yeah.
Do you have the wrong date on your itinerary?
I don't know. I might. So anyway, it's in the May.
5/9 in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yep. So, and I'll have all these. I have copies of all the Patterson casts. I have copies of all the Freeman casts because Michael and I are really good friends and we're from the same place. And so I have all those, and I have all our original casts too, and they'll all be on display there. So.
I have this idea. Seeing that we talk so much about different videos we've done on a variety of these things, like if you go check out our video about this, what if I sent out a post Wednesday, a post live email every week with all of our video recommends from our own channel, which means y'all need to be subscribed to our newsletter that goes out right now once a week, but I'm trying to get it out twice a week. Where is the thing?
It's way up there.
Way up here. Boy, we're chatty Cathy's tonight. Oh, and I cannot drive your mouse. It's all over the place.
We're what do you call it? A mixed family.
There it is right there. Go to squatchamerica.com/subscribe-here. Sign up for our newsletter. And I think I will start doing it twice a week with post live recommendations. Yeah, we're arriving in Wisconsin then.
Yeah.
At the okay.
The conference is the 10th. And we'll be there. We're going to be there for, we're going to be in the area for about 3 weeks, actually. So we're going to be doing some squatching with Barnaby.
And Lee, obviously. And
Lee.
We got to work out something with the Fallen Outdoors up there because Lee is also a veteran.
Yeah. So Lee, we need to email back and forth. I think, didn't we start that? I don't remember. Anyway, so I've been working on the truck all week.
It's still not done.
Still not done.
Tell them what happened to it.
We got so much junk on our truck, it was actually
breaking.
It was breaking. The side rails on the bed was caving in, so I had to do some weight management on our rack. So
add some steel reinforcements.
So yeah, so I had the reinforcement, and that's something else. We'll have the Squatch Mobile there. I don't know if he's going to have a place for us to have it there, but it'll be there. With all the cool stuff. And if you want to watch our video that's coming up of what we're putting on there now, it's a very high-tech Squatchy mobile. So.
Oh, and with that, let's end with Pyro's very interesting yet unrelated comment, which he already admits to. Scientists observing a species of monkey have said they use a separate sound for each monkey when addressing each other to say they are using names.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
I'm not a primatologist, but that sounds cool.
Scott with 2 T's, you will be the first one to know when we get those video cards.
Yep, you will. And I need to get you on like maybe next week, buddy. So we'll talk about it. I'll call you. Okay. So
with that.
Wow.
Please remember
that our job. I gotta find. Wait, you always jump ahead of me. Here we go.
I don't.
So just remember
that our job is to investigate the unexplained,
not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until next week, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this. Be obnoxious about it. And you keep watching, and
we'll keep squatching and go out and find Bigfoot.
Bye.
That damn Sasquatch.